As I've started to upload videos onto YouTube, I thought it might be an idea to also show the kind of setup I've got for doing recording and editing and sound and bits and bobs. So here it is. My master recorder for doing all the major editing on with tapes recorded in stereo half track is the Studas A810. My Yamaha C1 amplifier for natural sound, which is currently playing the computer. The Yamaha C1 natural sounding amplifier, very old, but I've never seen anything with such reactive meters on it before. If I was to pause the computer, you can see that the decay is very slow as you'd want on a PPM, but if you press play again, their instant response. Technics amplifier, which goes to around about 120 watts RMS, 200 watts peak non-RMS. Then there's just a cheapy cassette deck up there. It's not used, just looks pretty. This machine I use quite often for doing dub downs from 1/4 inch tape recorded 4-track. It's auto reversible, it's got very good heads on it, so if I ever get a tape transfer in that needs to be dubbed down from a 7-inch reel, this is the machine. 9 times out of 10 you don't tend to get a reel bigger than that. That requires 4-track recording, but if I did, tucked away in the corner, not really used very often, is the Ferrograph Logic 7, and that is 4-track stereo. I have a Tascam cassette deck, dual cassette deck, reversible, both cassette mechanisms. It's very useful for putting on 2 cassettes and then just walking away and leaving it to do its transfers. Above that is another Technics amplifier. This isn't currently in use at the moment, but will be soon. And just a cheapy nasty Sony mini disc player, the higher quality one. I have an ES one, which is in the other room. This is a new recent feature for dual monitor display business. The idea is that I can do several things at the same time. I can say, for instance, if I'm doing a video for YouTube, I can open up a program, and for example I've got here a video display screen so that I can do the replays of the films, and then I've got a storyboard here so that I can play the storyboard, edit it, put on special effects, be able to view what's going on in this window. And here we have one channel of the mixer. Depending on how many channels you have, depends on how many mixing channels there are. I haven't had any call to use the digital machine yet to do any tape transfers, but I do have a Sony Dash stereo machine. People may recognise the C37, that's wired up to the hi-fi because of the lovely sound on it. I do like using that. There we have a couple of museum pieces. Some people may or may not know what that is. That's the Tonschreiber, which was built in 1939. Most of these machines were captured from the Germans, taken back to places like England and America, dismantled down, and then produced some of the very first professionally used tape recorders, such as the EMI BTR1, British, 1947, and the Ampex 100, also 1947. A project in progress, a C37, which I'm slowly building up parts for. One of my dogs there, and the other one here. This is Cooper, and the sleepy one there is Loki. Another restoration project, a Levers Rich Series C. All valved again, just like the Studa. It's got quite a numerous amount of faults on it, but it's something that I'd like to get up and running one day. Bolted into my A80. This is my main computer with a backing up hard drive. Everything's backed up onto that nice and securely, and also being a computer engineer, knowing the risks of hard drives going down, I've also got them backed up, anything important, onto multiple external storage devices. Although as silly as it may seem to have as many as that, I have had 3 computers go down in one night. Tucked away we have a backup machine, just in case if the main computer goes down there is a second machine that can be fired up straight away. Everything's configured on it, ready to go. So just in case I needed to get emails in an emergency or anything like that, or something bad should happen, I do have a spare machine to be able to do all that kind of work on.